side of it, so that's good news in terms of the type of storm system we're dealing with, but that still could mean that there's a tornado. If it hits your house, it's not weak. It would be not good. So this is the situation right now. We'll go back to station in a minute with a storm track, but this is a 3D view of what we're seeing with this. So this is the area of circulation, and then you look back, you can see Tahlequah, and then of course we have Cherokee Lake, okay, I'll get it out. Down in Tahlequah, south of Tahlequah, going to Keys, and then extending back to the south all the way into Sequoyah County. So from to Lake Tenkiller, and then back on to the east-southeast, because when it went across Lake Tenkiller, it was near the dam, and there should have been some 50, 60-mile-an-hour winds. We were trying to get on TV as that was starting to enhance. And so we have a cluster of big hail just sitting up here, and so there is going to be a chance that you're going to have big chunks of hail falling, and you should have some falling or have had some falling for a little bit. Right in that area as it went across the lake. So anywhere from central portions of Tenkiller down to around Paradise Hill to the dam, that would have been where the core moved through, and is continuing to move to the southeast. And the circulation feature with this is still hanging out. So it in terms of it's not real tight, but it's generalized right now, kind of wrapped up into itself a little bit. But Stacia, what do you have on a storm track now?
It's moving so slowly, 20, 25 tops for this storm. And so east-southeast headed to Dwight Mission. That's coming up at 8:33. Then Marble City at 8:35. If we extend our track out 30 minutes, that would include Seven Oaks and Aikens and Brushy as well. Brushy would be around 8:48. And then Sallisaw 8:50 along with Seven Oaks at about 8:53. Trav.
All right. Hey, thanks. I appreciate that. Also, I'm going to have you pull out just a little bit as far as, and we'll look at reflectivity and right there. And let's come back in just a tad bit, and then let's look back at the last 15 minutes if we could. We'll just do that. So what I think will happen here is this is wrapped up here. That's why we issued the tornado warning. But you also note that this one is coming up here. So these are pretty much in a collision course right now. So briefly, there could be a little bit of enhancement for you guys in central portions of Sequoyah County. But then this could wipe out that circulation feature. So I think that's probably going to be the case. We've seen that happen before. Could be a little bit of a jolt just to get it going right now. And you'll see how that's kind of merging into it literally as we speak. So there is a chance that that could help kill it and get it out of here. Last thing we need is another tornado in Oklahoma. And the last thing we want to be doing is talking about tornadoes. We just like to be talking about nice weather, but we can't do it right now. Still some strong winds associated with this. So this would be about 50, 60 mile per hour winds right in this zone. And we do think that circulation feature is going to kind of get destroyed here in just a few moments. But I want to Bob, I'm going to come back to you for a minute. Any other information, because you're kind of still in the heavy rains, I know, and you got trees around you. Do you see anything at all to your west?
No. I'm in too much of heavy rain right now. I am getting close to being parallel to where the rotation is. I'm probably just a tad bit east, maybe northeast of Marble City. And at the speed of storm, I should be able to drop down and hopefully avoid that hail. Back to you, Travis.
All right. Hey, thanks. I appreciate it very much. And so with that, looking at what's going on there, then you see Brandon, who's just off to the south and southwest of this circulation feature. So he's real close to that. Brandon, if you would, give me a quick update on, from your location, what you're seeing, if you would.
Okay, Travis. Well, not much to really update about other than the heavy rain still here along I-40. Like you said, I think that storm is really going to weaken this rotation. But we're moving east, and we're going to keep eyes with it, Travis.
All right. Hey, thanks. Appreciate it. So again, he's just to the south of that. Sequoiah's in there as well at this particular moment. Hey, Sequoyah, let's take and guys in the control room, we've got REM 33. Sequoiah's up right now on there. If you can pull up REM 33, that's one of our Sequoyah who's looking at it right now. Sequoyah, what do you see with this?
Right now, with the talk about it, Travis, there is some rotation in it. Not super strong, but it is significantly rotating. And like Brandon said, hopefully this other storm will kind of not use this one, but we'll stay on it for you. Thank you.
All right. Hey, thanks. Appreciate it. So, again, the guys are basically right around it at this point. So you see where Sequoia is, Brandon's located, and then Bob. So we're literally right in the midst of the middle of it. So, again, this is a tornado warned storm just west of Marble City. Now, the main circulation. So literally what Sequoia was looking into was, and I was pointing at while he's talking about it, is this circulation right here. And Stacia, if you could, one more storm track on there. And if we can get this killed, we'll get back to programming. Again, we're so sorry, but again, it's just another day in a crazy spring of 2024. Back to you.
It's a tornado warning, Trav, that lasts until 9 o'clock for Sequoia County, and it includes Dwight Mission by 8:35, then Marble City about 8:37, Sallisaw about 8:50, and Seven Oaks around 8:54. The speed still about 25 miles per hour, 25 tops at this point. To the east-southeast. So Marble City is included in our track along with Dwight Mission, Brushy, Aiken, Seven Oaks, and then Sallisaw too. So the warning until 9 o'clock. Sallisaw for you guys, 8:50, 8:52, and you're on the far southern end of this track.
All right. Hey, I appreciate it. So once again, tornado warning, and we can bounce all the way out for just one moment. Circulation is still in that zone, and so this is the southeast part. So here you see Muskogee, Lake Eufaula and Eufaula, and then it goes down to McAllister. So this is our extreme eastern, southeastern parts of our viewing area. But we've been concerned because we've just had these storms hanging around, and then some energy came flying across this over the last couple hours, and that enhanced these thunderstorms quite a bit. We do have a new severe thunderstorm warning that is now pushed off really into Washington County, and that's in Arkansas. But this is going to have some hail with it. Now it's moving on over toward the Fayetteville area. So that's a storm that continues to track, and there have been some winds up to 50 to 60 miles per hour associated with that. So don't be surprised there. And then back to the south one more time with the cell that's merging, kind of into it at this point. It's enhancing it a little bit at this moment. And so you see still that circulation real close to where Sequoia is. And Sequoia, oh yeah, your picture is just coming back. It's kind of breaking in and out, Sequoia, by the way, if you're hearing me talk. But he's right next to the circulation now. And then Bob's just back to the east a little bit, so he's going to be able to look at that. So Sequoia is literally underneath it at this moment. And we'll try to get a more stable shot from him in just a minute. It's kind of going black and going out and coming back in. So we'll see if we can get it stabilized in a second. But this is the main circulation. So I'm just going to let you see it here where he is located. Again, that tornado warning in effect is for another 30 minutes. But we'll see it. It looks like it could hang in there for a few more minutes, about 5 to 10 more minutes, and then we'll see if it falls apart. But you see the greens and the reds. That's the easiest thing to look at, and where the couplet is located. So this is the circulation area. And it's just been slowly moving east-southeast. And so that's where we see it right now. So you're literally just south and west sides of Marble City. We'd really like for you to be taking cover or be at least very much aware of what's going on right now. That'd be the old Dwight Mission and Pinhook Corner. That's where Sequoia is located at this moment with that. And trying to look and see Sequoia's shot. Yeah, Sequoia, your shot is still out. Coming in and out. So once you get a position, maybe you can stop and see if there's a wire loose on that or not. Bob, let's go to Bob for a minute, get an update from Bob. He's just off to the east a little bit, right around Brushy. Bob, what do you see? And as you look back to your west.
Yeah, Travis, I still can't see a lowering right now. Everything's going off on the alarms. However, the lightning is still continuing pretty consistent. Pretty constant out here. So I still think this storm's got a lot of energy, and even though we've had a cell merger, it looks like it wants to continue on. Back to you.
Okay, yeah, the National Weather Service just made that warning now for 70-mile-an-hour winds, and also for a 2-inch diameter size hail. So that's like hen egg size hail. And so that's pretty big chunks of hail, and it's near Big Hail Bob at this point. So I don't know if Bob, we'll see what happens with Bob, but it's literally just right near Marble City at this time. And so that's where the major part of the circulation is, and that's where the hail core is located as well. Brandon, since you're just on the south and west sides of this coming in, can you get a visual from where you are right now on what's going on, or is it kind of all covered in rain at this moment? Brandon, you there?
Yeah, Travis, I couldn't hear you with all the background noise. Yeah, so, still obscured in rain. We're just now coming up to Highway 59.
Okay.
Still don't have eyes on it, though, right now, Travis.
All right. That's okay. Holler if you do. That is, it did merge, so I think it's going to wreck the, it's going to change the circulation, and that's what it's doing. It's kind of enhanced a little bit right now. So that's a little bit tighter circulation. Sometimes that'll increase it, and then hopefully it'll kill it here in just a little bit. We'll see if that can pull that off or not, because we don't want it to enhance any more than it has to. But it is a rotating area right in here from Marble City to the south to where Sequoia is located. It looks like his shot is back. Let's take his shot for a minute, and REM 33 if you could, and see what he has at this moment, because he's about as close as you can get to it at this moment. Again, it's going dark on us at 8:34, and of course it's overcast to top it off. And so as we look, is Sequoia online right now? Sequoia, if you can hear me, just do you see very much or anything at all at this moment?
Right now, Travis, it's rain wrapped back to my north and east, down towards the Marble City area. About to cross Highway 59. Still a lot of lightning. Also, it does have a pretty decent wall cloud, and you can tell the circulation on the wall cloud is real smooth. So it looks like it kind of may have ticked up a little bit.
Yeah, it did. It did. I'll let you go for a second because your signal's coming in and out. I want you to be careful right there, and then you can be back with us in a minute. Station will have another storm track here. So that picked up a little bit right now. Lots of lightning associated with that. We have the severe thunderstorms, 70-mile-an-hour winds, hen-egg-size hail, and also a potential tornado wrapped into this because the circulation feature is now a lot different. If you would, Station, give us an update on that.
Well, it's moved about 12 miles since it started, and that was here just about 20 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago at this point. But it's a very slow mover, and so as it continues southeast, 25 is tops for that speed. But by Marble City, 839, right over Dwight Mission now. By Brushy at 850, and then for Seven Oaks about 854. We continue that track to the east-southeast. That may take it to Aikens by 856, close to 9 o'clock, and then Hanson also around 9 o'clock. Trav?
All right, thanks. I was just looking at radar, trying to get an update on how that is kind of shaking and moving, and it's still got that east-southeast movement, so that's keeping the enhancement of the rotation going on. So again, for the places the station just mentioned, from Evening Shade, Marble City, and then also around the Brushy area, we do want you to be advised of what's going on with this particular cell. One of our radar indications right now went up to almost 5-inch diameter size hail. For a brief skit or update on that. And so that's softball size hail at 4.5. So there is a chance right now we're going to have some severe hail concerns with this, where it's going to be very damaging hail. So we could have baseball to near softball size hail. Radar estimates are coming in between 4 and 5 inch diameter. So again, that was that part that we were showing you a little bit ago. So this has enhanced the storm, unfortunately. And this is the last update we had a couple minutes ago. And then we'll get a new update that'll probably most likely move it to the east. But you're going to have hail for a sustained period of time, and it'll probably do a lot of damage if you get up to baseball size hail or larger, which hopefully it isn't, but we did have this warning posted for 2-inch diameter size hail, and this could get larger fast. So you can see it's slipping south and east, and so this is the hail pretty much swath of what we anticipate where the highest probability of having hail, and the biggest hail right now is Marble City, and it's not marble size. And so, okay, Sequoia, if you could give us an update on what you have right now.
Right now, I'm just north and, southeast of, or southwest of Marble City. Sorry about that. We do have like some rising scud going up into the cloud with some raggedy clouds, but a lot of lightning, still nothing on the ground. Back to you.
All right, thanks, appreciate it. Obviously a ton of lightning you see from his shot there. And so this is where it's basically wrapped up. So he's looking right up into it at this moment. Higher probability of a little bit of the best circulation with this is going to be just around Marble City to the south. Remember, there's huge hail falling at this point, so there's going to be damaging hail in this area. And so we do want you to be aware of what's going on here. And then you can see from anywhere, from probably Flute Spring, and then from Marble City, and then back on down to where Sequoia is located, just north of McKee. And that's where the strongest winds are going to be located. Sequoia, one quick question for you. What do you have for like winds right now? Do you have 40, 50 mile an hour winds or not?
When I got close to it, it was about 60 miles an hour. Right now, I'm about 3 miles south of it, and we have about, I would say, 40 mile an hour winds and less.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Let you go back to driving again. So there's the shear indications. Once it gets up into the yellow areas, that's when we get really, really concerned for serious wind damage. 60 mile an hour winds are going to knock out some power to some homes. So don't be surprised if you lose some power besides the very large hail. We'll take one more look at the large hail too and see what we have going on. Then I'm going to talk to Bob, and then we'll get a storm track from Stacia. But the hail right now, again, it just hasn't moved a whole lot, unfortunately. Not that we want everybody else to get hail too, but it's hanging in there. And so it went up for a while to, and you see now the new update takes us out of the black. You see the legend up here. And so when you get up to the white and then also in the black, you're getting into seriously damaging hail for your vehicles and house and roofs and everything else. So it's come down a hair bit. Let's go to Bob. A quick update. Bob, from you, what do you have for us?
Travis, I'm a little bit south and east of the intersection, Highway 59 and 101. And torrential rain here right now. Still a lot of lightning back up towards the Marble City area. And so right now, I have no visual on it due to the rain. But definitely I'm going to try and stay just on the edge of that hail core.
Okay. All right, thanks. And we'll see if that ends up happening. Hail core came way down. And the rotation right now looks like it's come down considerably as well. So if you are in that area, there is a chance that hopefully the worst of the hail has ended. In fact, we're down to like 1 inch to 2 inch diameter size hail at this point. So that's around the Marble City, and the circulation feature continues to look like it's just hanging in there. Hasn't quite ended. Stacia, what do you have?
We'll track that circulation. Again, doesn't look as bad, but it is moving still east-southeast very, very slowly. I mean, 25 miles per hour is the maximum for that speed, and so it's probably even about 15 to 20. To be on the more logical side. But for Brushy to Seven Oaks to Aikens, we're looking at 8:51 for Brushy. Seven Oaks would be about 8:55. Aikens and Hanson closer to 9 o'clock, and then for Maple at 9:08.
All right, thanks. I appreciate that very much. So with what is going on right now, if you're just joining us and wanting the programming, we're sorry to transfer that over. It's unbelievable how many storms we're dealing with or have been. And then we still have tomorrow night to have to deal with. This tornado warning that we are looking at now, as we said, goes till 9 o'clock officially. And the storm continues to move southeast at about 25 miles an hour. And it's just not quite as tight, but it's still there. And that's why we want you to just be very cautious and aware of what's going on with this particular cell as it continues to move to the southeast. And it does have some indication with, we could look, I guess, at some hail, our latest updates on our hail and hail swath, and just see if that continues to drop off. So it is weakening a little bit, so we're kind of getting a little bit less hail size on there. But briefly, we had it flare up. And so this is the latest heavy rain too. These things are putting down tremendous amount of water. So rain rate at this point is just unbelievable. We call it toad stranglers. I don't know if you ever heard that before. Some people wonder why I say that. But it does give you a pretty good idea of how much water is available, precipitation that can fall, and it's a measure of the amount of moisture and the amount of rainfall and the rates at which the rain is falling, and that's amazing. So some places here have picked up over an inch of rain in just a short period of time, like in about 20 minutes or so, 30 minutes. And that's a stunning amount of rainfall. Because usually if you get about 3/4 of an inch to an inch, that's a lot of water that's fallen. Some of these areas here have seen some of that. When you mix it in with hail, every once in a while it gets diluted a little bit in terms of the radar has some issues trying to separate out those two. But we do see where Bob, Sequoia are located right now. Let's go back over to Bob. First of all, Bob, another update from you. Any news?
No, Travis, other than the fact that right now my winds are averaging between 0 and about 5 miles an hour.
Wow.
So I'm kind of in an area that's not seeing any wind. Rain is kind of and to see anything back to the northwest, but we're going to keep an eye on it. And I haven't seen anything that would look like power flashes.
Okay. I mean, that's good because the circulation isn't as big as it was or as strong as it was there. And so we're going to see if we have to continue this or not. Let's go on over to Brandon right now. You can see where Sequoia and Bob are located. Brandon, you're just to the south. You have a view pretty much from Sallisaw back into that. What are you seeing with this?
Well, Travis, right now we're just seeing a ton of lightning, a ton of cloud-to-ground lightning right now. We're just south of Bob, and I can easily say I've got no wind. There's no wind blowing on the anemometer right now, so but we'll watch it.
All right, thanks. I appreciate that. And let's take a look one more time at velocity data and see if we see anything new on there, if we could. Because what's happening right now in this area, it just isn't as organized. And I think that has something to do with that other cell that came in, enhanced the thunderstorm itself, kind of wrecked the rotating part of it a little bit more. So you have a very turbulent environment here. And so our shear in this area is also still showing probably some gusty winds of about 50 to 60 miles an hour. So that runs from around Marble City and then back to around the Brushy area. So you can see where Bob is located in Sequoia. They're going to meet here in just a minute the way things are going. But if you are in this area, we just want you to be advised. And then Sequoia, there should be a little wind gust. They'll be coming up on Bob here in just a minute. Hey, Bob, I'm going to just open the mic one more time for you. And there should be a wind gust, and we wouldn't mind getting a check of this here in just the next minute. You should get a blast of wind coming in at you. We'll see if it's very strong or not. Nothing's changed. You still got real calm winds at this moment?
They're up to about 10 or 11. But like you said, it could change here in 30 seconds or a minute. So I'm keeping an eye on it, and I'm stationary so I get a good reading on the anemometer.
All right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. So that outflow boundary is coming into that area. Tornado warning is still in effect for the areas of Sequoia County, and that's just off to the south and east. That's west and northwest of Fort Smith, not too far from Sallisaw. And you can see some of the communities still involved in that. Circulation feature, though, has dropped off to the point where it's not quite the same right now. We are going to continue. Also, severe thunderstorm warning for the areas up into northwest Arkansas, just to give you a heads up on that.
The hail cores really dropped.
What'd you say, Bob? Or I guess Bob was on the air there. He said, yeah. And that's what we're looking at, too. Sure. Okay. You said hail core was dropping? Okay. Okay, Sequoia, what do you have for us?
I am between Highway 17 and Highway 59 on 101. There's a lowering. Apologies. The little lowering between me and Bob. I was trying to talk to Bob actually and advise him if we could see it. The winds are really strong. I would say they were around 50 to 60 miles an hour.
Okay. All right. That scares me, of course. All right, thanks. I appreciate that. So again, you can see right where they're located. All right, we think the tornado warning is probably going to be canceled. Did they cancel it? I was just going to look. And so it's just gone to a severe thunderstorm warning. at this point because the circulation isn't as strong. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to keep monitoring what's going on with this storm. We do have a severe thunderstorm. We're going to go back to programming in just a moment, production. But this is a storm that's still very, very heavy and intense, and it's severe. Hail size has come down. The circulation has come down. So we're pretty happy about that. Otherwise, we do have just a couple other cells that are heavy around the Gore area. 34 to 35 mile an hour winds. Okay, so we can handle that. That's a lot better than usually what it is around here. Let's widen out just for 1 second and show you that there's another cell that's down right around McAllister and south of McAllister's. If you are in Latimer County, also into portions of Haskell County and LaFleur County, you still have a threat of some of these storms tonight. So we're going to have to be watching that for a little while longer, and we will be detailing that on the 9 o'clock news on CW, and of course at 10 o'clock, or we'll be on Channel 6 here and cut in as necessary anytime there's a tornado. We're going to go back to programming here in just a few seconds, but we just have 2 active warnings, one in northwest Arkansas and the Sequoia, around Sequoia in Sallisaw. And so in Sequoia County near Sallisaw on the north side. Those are the warnings we have right now. Tulsa is clear. It's still going to be a stormy Saturday night. And we're looking at new data here in a few minutes, and we'll get that updated for the 9 and 10. Meantime, keep it here. We'll keep you advised.